So today we are here for starting our ETAP session. So yesterday what we had discussed about what are the features of the ETAPs, how does ETAP works, ETAPs में आप कैसे structural drawing को create कर सकते हैं एंड सबसे इजी टास्क किस तरीके से परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं एंड ये दूसरे सॉफ्टवेयर से थोड़ा सा अलग कैसे है. Okay, so today we are starting the ETAPS day one session and we will continue this till the 35 sessions. We have divided the sessions into the 35 sessions so you can go through with the syllabus. We have already uploaded on the website and we have already sent in the groups also. So today we will discuss about the ETABs and starting tab of the ETABs and what the syllabus of the ETAB. So I'm opening the syllabus of the ETAB, that is we have prepared on the industry basis. So I'm opening the syllabus of the ETABs. So you can see my screen. This is my screen in which you can see the syllabus of the ETABs. Okay, see. So we have divided the sessions into the 35 parts. So from the beginning, today we will have to start from the day one lecture, that is introductions to ETABs, and we will cover some basics tools that is mentioned here. And we will continue this lecture up to the 35 sessions on which you will be easily understand about the how to create the project, how to submit the project, see how to do your concrete designing, how to do your steel designing also. So these all are topics will covers under the ETAP. So today we are starting from the day one session. Okay. So I'm coming on this day one topic, that is introductions to ETAPs. So basically yesterday we had discussed about the ETAPs. What is the full form of ETAPs? That I have already told you. The full form of ETAPs, that is extended three-dimensional analysis of the building system. Okay. We have already discussed these all things in the first lecture. And we will see in some of the pictures that is prepared with the ETABs, so you can easily see what types of drawings we will create in the ETABs and how can we analyze our structure part. So these are some basics drawings that we will create on the ETABs and analyze our buildings. Okay, on the basis of concrete designing, steel designing, shear wall designing, aluminium designing, timber designing. So these all are designings that comes under your civil engineering and your structural designing part also. So when you'll be getting when you'll be goes along with your higher studies for the MTechs or for the PhDs, so ETAP will be very much important for this. You can prepare your thesis also, that is in the ETAPs. Okay, so we are starting now for the today's lecture. Yesterday we had discussed about the prospects of the ETAPs. So see, this is my starting window of ETAPs. I'm telling you along with this is a starting window of the ETAP. Okay, in this starting window that you can see there is a many type of things that you can see. So basically you when you'll be create your model, so you'll have to go for the new model that you can see in my screen. And if you wanted to open any of the model that is already created, so for that you'll have to go for the open existing model, that is I'll have marked with the arrows thing. Okay, so see, yesterday we have created some of the basics tool lectures. So this is showing here, that is your day one lecture. Okay, so after that, I'm going to start for the new model. When you'll be click on the new model, so this will ask you to define some of the settings that you'll have to do during the ETABs. So see, this is showing your model initializations window, okay, in which you'll have to define what you want to do. So first of all, you'll have to come on the use built-in setting. यूज बिल्टिंग सेटिंग मीन्स जिस भी कंट्रीज में आप रह रहे हो, जो भी कोड्स आप यूज करने वाले हो फर्दर डिजाइनिंग के लिए, वो सारे कोड्स एंड वो सारी चीजें आपको यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट करनी है. सो वी आर लिविंग इन द इंडिया, सो बेसिकली देयर इज थ्री टाइप ऑफ डिस्प्ले यूनिट्स. फर्स्ट इज यूएस कस्टमरी, द सेकंड इज मीट्रिक एसआई एंड थर्ड इज मीट्रिक एमकेएस. सो इंडिया में अगर आप वर्क कर रहे हो तो वी विल वर्क विद द मीट्रिक एसआई. यूके वगैरह में आप वर्क कर रहे हो, सो वी विल यूज, और द मिडिल ईस्ट की किसी भी कंट्रीज में आप वर्क कर रहे हो, सो यू विल हैव टू गो विद द metric MKS system. And for the US countries, you'll have to go for the US customary system. So right now I'm taking metric system. This will ask you to steal section database from which country you'll be have to select. You'll have to go for the Indian system. Okay. After that, there is a option for the steel designing code. So you guys are very well know about the steel code that I have yesterday discussed, and I'll already and I also upload these codeds on the websites also and sent in the groups also. Okay. So for the steel designing, we are using IS 800 2007. For the concrete designing, we are using IS 456 2000. Okay, again I'll be go through with the codes that will be used in your designing, so you'll be easily noted down for these codes also. Those are very important. So for the concrete designing, IS 456 2000. Okay, same thing for the steel designing. We will have to go for the IS 800 or 800-01 or the 800-02 also. These are the latest edition. For the dead load, by which you will be calculate your dead load, for that you will have to go for the IS 875 part 1. Okay, so these are the codings. I'm just making the fonts bigger so you'll guys easily understand about the codings. See, okay. So for the live load, we will have to use IS 875 part 2. For the wind load, IS 875 part 3. For the snow load, we will have to go with the IS 875 part 4. Okay. And for the combinations of load combinations also we will have to chosen from the codes because these are the very necessary. And load combinations अपन क्यों use करते हैं? Just because we have to taken the factor of safety for any of the structure. Okay. So these are the structural code that will used for your designing. So please remember these codes so you will be better understand about the things. After that, there is another code that will be used, that is your seismic code. Yesterday, I have told you about the seismic code, that is IS 1893 2000 or the 2016 is your latest additions. Okay, so these are the codes you can note it down very easily, and these we will use on the things. Okay, these are using. So I have chosen this and I'm just clicking on the OK. So this will ask you about the grids. What is grid? For creation any of the project, this is necessary to create a model along with your grid. Okay. सपोज आपको 10 स्टोरी की बिल्डिंग क्रिएट करनी है या 12 स्टोरी की बिल्डिंग क्रिएट करनी है, सो उसके पहले आपको मॉडल का बेस तैयार करना होगा. सो डेट विल बी इजली यू कैन prepared with the grids also, or we can upload the CAD drawings also. Okay, AutoCAD फाइल को भी आप इंपोर्ट कर सकते हो और उससे भी आप grids बना सकते हो. So right now I am taking the grids in the x directions, that is 5, x y directions also 5, and the spacing between the grids, that is 5 meter, and there is a 5 meter. So यहाँ पे आपको यूनिफॉर्म ग्रिड्स स्पेसिंग मेंशन करनी पड़ेगी, and this is your story dimensions. So Here you'll have to mention how many number of stories do you want to make. Suppose I'm just making the 5 stories. So after the another options, typical story height. Typical story height means आपको अपनी बिल्डिंग की हाइट कितनी रखनी है. So generally the height of the building will be 3.5 meter or the 3.75 meter. एंड आफ्टर दैट दिस इज आस्किंग टू यू बॉटम स्टोरी की हाइट कितनी रखनी है. क्यों? क्योंकि बॉटम स्टोरी में आपका प्लिंथ लेवल से कंस्ट्रक्शन स्टार्ट होता है. सो फॉर दैट आई एम जस्ट मेकिंग 1.75. सो grids options plan and the story dimensions, these two things are very easy and very clear. Okay. Another same options, that is custom grid story and custom grid data, that we will discuss in the further class. Right now I'm just taking these two options and carry forward towards the grid. So there is an option for the grids. There is a multiple options like blank, steel deck, truss, flat slab with the perimeter, waffle slab. सो यहाँ पे जितने भी ऑप्शंस दिए गए हैं उनके थ्रू आप डायरेक्टली स्ट्रक्चर भी क्रिएट कर सकते हो. बट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, this is our starting class. So from the beginning, we will see from the grids. So I'm just clicking on the grids. जैसे ही आप ग्रिड्स पे क्लिक करोगे एंड ओके करोगे तो आपका विंडो ओपन हो जाएगा मॉडल का. See, this is opening our grids that we have prepared. So what we have prepared, I have already told you. We have taken the x directions grid, the 5 grids, and we have taken the y directions grid as also 5 grid. So I'm just customizing it so you can easily understand. I'm just making with the cover box so you can easily understand. So see, this is your file menu by which you'll have to go for the new, on which we have, this is your plan story 5 that is showing, and this is your 3D, that is your, you can see there is a 3D point also showing. Okay. सबसे पहले अपन ने x डायरेक्शंस की ग्रिड 5 ली है एंड y डायरेक्शंस की ग्रिड भी 5 ली है. सो यू कैन सी देयर इज अ एक्सिस. सी, दिस इज आवर x एक्सिस एंड दिस इज आवर y एक्सिस. ओके. सो आप देख सकते हो x डायरेक्शंस में नंबर ऑफ ग्रिड्स कितनी है, 5 है. 1 2 3 4 5. सो द सेम थिंग y डायरेक्शंस में ग्रिड्स कितनी है, 5 है. जैसे ही आप आते हो अपने 3D प्लान में, सो आप देख रहे हो कि अपने सबसे नीचे की जो हाइट है वो सबसे कम है एंड जो सबसे ऊपर की हाइट है बिल्डिंग की वो सबसे ज़्यादा है. यू कैन रोटेट योर बिल्डिंग ऑल्सो विद द हेल्प ऑफ शिफ्ट की एंड द माउस स्क्रॉल बटन. सी, जो कि आप ऑटो कैड में या रेविट आर्किटेक्चर में करते हो. आफ्टर दैट there is another options by which you can add your new window also. So suppose if you wanted to see your elevations also, so you'll have to click on the add new window, and after clicking on the add new window you'll have to come here. Where is my cursor? 3D plan and elevations. So first of all click on that window, and second of all click on the elevations. This will ask you to elevations, applied it, okay. So see, we have created the 3 window in this. Okay. So that is very easy. You can work with the multiple windows in the Etabs. After it, you can see there is an option in the bottom that right now there is showing unit story, global coordinate system, and the units also. So you can change your units from here also. Okay, during the working. यहाँ पे वन स्टोरी ऑन है, इसका मतलब है कोई भी आप ऑब्जेक्ट बनाओगे या सिलेक्ट करोगे सो वो एक ही स्टोरी में बनेगा. अगर आप ऑल स्टोरी पे क्लिक कर दोगे सो कोई भी मॉडल आप बनाओगे वो सारी स्टोरीज में बन जाएगा. आपके पास कितनी स्टोरीज हैं? देयर इज 6 स्टोरीज दैट वी हैव क्रिएटेड. एंड द सिमिलर स्टोरी मीन्स वी हैव डन the bottom story height 1.75 meter, and except then the bottom story we have created all the stories that is 3.5 meter. So when you'll be choose this similar stories option, so you can create your model in the similar stories except then your 1.75 meter window. Okay, so I am coming on my points. This is your 3D view. From the mouse scroll middle button, you can pan it. Okay, see, I'm just panning my object like this for any of the one elevations also and for the planning also. Okay, after that, I'm just coming on again my window. See, so there is a multiple types of toolbars. Suppose when you'll be see there is a file option, edit option, view option, and the help option also. So these are your toolbars, these are your menu bars that will be help you to finding the things. Okay, from file to help, these all things that is comes under your menu bar. Okay, so when you'll be go for the tools, so these are your tools that is showing. See, this is your tools that is showing. These are your tools. Okay, after that there is a project browser and there is a model browser also, so by which you can know about the informations of your project. Okay, so this is the graphics user interface of the etabs. Okay, सबसे टॉप में आप देख रहे हो there is a menu bar and the different different options. After that there is a toolbars, so there is showing some listed out toolbars that we have taken. After that there is a worksheet on which we have created the three window, elevation A, plan, and 3D, and there is a model explorer. So the etabs graphics user interface will combine from these four options: menu bar, toolbar, model explorer, and your worksheet. Okay, after that I am just coming on that, and suppose आपको कोई भी drawing बनानी है, suppose I am just opening any of the models in the AutoCAD, so you will be easily understand. So we will have to make it here. So इससे आपको एक बेसिक आइडिया लग गया होगा कि आपकी जो बिल्डिंग है वो 6 स्टोरी होने वाली है, बॉटम स्टोरी की हाइट 1.5 मीटर होने वाली है, एंड द टॉप स्टोरी की जो हाइट है वो, सो आफ्टर दैट we are going towards the toolbars and the menu bars. Okay, so there is a different toolbars, like you can see there is a beam toolbar, there is a column toolbar also, there is a floor also, there is a slab also. So we can create these all elements. Okay, and there is a views option, there is a multiple designing option: steel designing, concrete designing, composite designing. So these all are the designings that we will have to learn and we will have to do. Okay, so when you will be create your window, so after that what is your first thing? Graphics is user interface have the four options. The first is that is your worksheet. The second thing that is your menus bar. The third thing that is your toolbars. The fourth thing that is your project or the model explorer. Okay. After that, what you will have to do, you will have to go for the grids first of all. So in the grids, you'll have to specify the X grid, the Y grid data, and the Z grid data also. Z grid is what? Z is your height, or you can say the height, height of the building. So we have to specify, so you can see easily see on our screen, we have specified it. After the grid creations, what you'll have to do, you'll have to go for the define menu bar. Okay, this will be your second step. So I'm just coming on the define menu bar. But before that, I just want to show you the some of the designing that will be used in your designing. So I'm opening any of the AutoCAD project so you can easily understand what we are going to do in the ETABS. Okay, so I have opened this model, that is G plus 4 story model, in which there is a basement. See, see, this is our site. So along with the site, this is our planning. This is your first floor planning, this is your second floor planning, and this is your elevation. Okay, see the height of the elevations. So what we will have to do, we will have to create the only beams and column plans. Okay, so how can you create? You can create by the grids. There is only beam and column. Just because when you'll be use any of the software for the scheduling or for the structural designing, so you'll have to only make the framed structure. Okay, how many types of structures are there? There is a three type of structure. What kind of structure? The first structure that you can say, it is your framed structure. Okay, framed structure is means all the loads will be transferred by the frames. Frame means through the beam and column. The second type of your structure, that is load bearing structure. लोड बियरिंग स्ट्रक्चर मतलब अपने जो नॉर्मल घर होते हैं वो, जिनमें जो लोड्स है वो आपकी बीम, कॉलम एंड वॉल तीनों के थ्रू ट्रांसफर होता है फाउंडेशंस में. एंड देयर इज अ थर्ड टाइप ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर, दैट इज composite structure. Composite structure is the combinations of framed structure and the load bearing structure. Okay, so these are the three types of the structure, and we will analyze all these three type of structures in the ETABS. So right now we are going for the framed structure, that is beam and column. So ये जो ड्राइंग आपको मैंने ऑटोकैड पे बताई है, यहाँ से आपको सिर्फ बीम एंड कॉलम प्लान कैरी करना पड़ेगा. So suppose I have created this. Okay, this is your beam and column only. So you'll have to make this type of grids only in the E tab, and after that you can go with the column and the beam. एंड लोड जो आपको लगाना है वो आपकी प्लानिंग के हिसाब से लगाना है. जितने इंचेस की वॉल होगी आपकी आउटर वॉल, कहाँ पे आपकी स्टेयर्स हैं, कहाँ पे आपकी लिफ्ट है, तो ये सारे लोड्स अपन अप्लाई करेंगे एंड इस स्ट्रक्चर का एनालिसिस करेंगे. ओके, सो अगेन आई एम कमिंग ऑन द ई टैब. So we are doing about the framed structure. Okay, so framed structure means beam column. There is only beam and column. So first of all, we will see how can we create for our material. Okay, so the first topic is that creating material in ETABS. मटेरियल्स में सपोज आप कंक्रीट डिजाइनिंग कर रहे हैं या कंक्रीट का स्ट्रक्चर बना रहे हैं, सो you'll हैव टू गो फॉर द कंक्रीट मटेरियल, राइट? या फिर आप स्टील स्ट्रक्चर्स बना रहे हैं या स्टील ड्राइंग कर रहे हैं, सो आपको स्टील मटेरियल्स में जाना पड़ेगा. सो कंक्रीट मटेरियल कौन कौन से होते हैं जो कि अवेलेबल होते हैं? देयर इज M10, M20, M15 also is there, M25 also is there, M30, M35, M40, and from the M40 it will goes along till the M80. Okay, so you can see when you'll be goes above the M30, so these all will comes your precasted structure. Okay, that all the structures comes under the precasted material, just because M35 से लेके जो अबव M80 तक के मटेरियल है वो साइट पे कास्ट नहीं होते हैं, डेट इज ऑलरेडी प्री कास्टेड। ओके, एंड जो आपके M10 से लेके M30 तक के मटेरियल हैं डेट इज कास्ट इन C2। कास्ट इन C2 मीन्स साइट पे कास्ट किए जा सकते हैं। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल you'll have to knowledge of the concrete material। सपोज अगर मैं स्टील स्ट्रक्चर की बात करता हूँ, तो कौन कौन से स्टील स्ट्रक्चर हो सकते हैं। सो ऑफ कोर्स आपने नाम सुना होगा, डेट इज ISLB, ISMB, ISSC, angle section also is there, channel section also is there, I section also is there, W section also is there, U section also is there. So these all are comes under your steel section. Okay. So right now we what we are doing, we are just going with the concrete sections. Okay. So for the concrete, suppose we are creating the M25. Okay. So creating the concrete material M25. Okay. So we are creating this. So how can we create? So please see it carefully. For the creations of the material, firstly you'll have to go for the define menu bar. And when you'll be go for the define menu bar, there is the first option. There is a material properties. When you'll be go for the material properties, so you can easily create. So right now I'm coming towards the material properties, and these are the some of the pre selected materials that I have already prepared, but I want to be go for these all, so I'm creating new material. So how can you create? For creating the new material, you'll have to go for the add new material. सिंपल। जब आप ऐड न्यू मटेरियल पे क्लिक करोगे तो ये अगेन आपसे सेम थिंग पूछेगा, किस कंट्री में आप रह रहे हो, कौन सा कोड यूज कर रहे हो, एंड कौन सा ग्रेड्स आपको यूज करना है। सो वी आर लिविंग इन द इंडिया, we will have to go for the concrete material. This is the Indian system, and see this will show the all selected material from the M15 to M60. So right now we are creating for the M25. Click OK. See, जैसे ही आप मटेरियल प्रॉपर्टी डेटा ओपन करोगे तो आपकी जो सारी इंफॉर्मेशन है मटेरियल की, वो आपकी विंडो पे शो करेगी। ओके, मटेरियल नेम आप क्या देना चाहते हो। सो मैंने सपोज मटेरियल नेम मुझे देना है M25 कॉन्क्रीट मटेरियल। सो आई हैव जस्ट गिवन दिस। ओके, द सेकेंड ऑप्शन, मटेरियल टाइप क्या है आपका, कॉन्क्रीट है। द थर्ड ऑप्शन, आइसोट्रॉपिक है कि ऑर्थोट्रॉपिक है, आइसोट्रॉपिक है। Display color, you can change from here your display color, but I don't need to change. Any of the notes that you want to attach, so you can give it. This is just for the info, okay? So there is a option weight per unit volume. So जैसे ही आप M25 चूज करोगे तो सॉफ्टवेयर आपका ऑटोमेटिकली ये डेटा चूज कर लेगा। You don't have to give, you don't need to mention these data, okay? Like modulus of elasticity M25 के लिए कितनी होती है, पॉइजनस रेशो कितना होता है, थर्मल एक्सपेंसेस कितना होता है, शेयर मॉडुलस कितना होता है। सो ये सारा डेटा वो खुद ले लेगा, आपको सिर्फ ओके पे क्लिक करना है। We have created this material. Okay, so simply we have created this material, M25 concrete material. Suppose I am creating another new material, so I have to go select for the M20 I just want to, for the slab, and I'm just giving M20 slab material. So you can just name it. Okay, you can change the color also. Suppose I just want to see with the pink color, so this will be, and this will automatically takes up all the data according to the codes IS 456 2000. Okay, okay, so this is the first step by which you'll have to create your material. That is very simple. For this you'll have to go for the define, there is an option for the material, and you can easily create. Okay, that is very simple. After that, what you'll have to do, we will have to come for the second thing, that is the creations of the cross sections. So the second step would be creations of cross sections. सो क्रॉस सेक्शंस मतलब जो आप बीम एंड कॉलम दे रहे हो उनका साइज आप क्या रखने वाले हो, ओके। सो वो आप कहाँ से चूज करोगे, जो आप ऑटोकैड फाइल में बना चुके होगे, ओके। सी, सपोज जो मेरा ये कॉलम्स हैं इनका साइज है 9/18 एंड जो मेरी बीम्स यूज कर रहा हूँ मैं उनका साइज मैं इनिशियली ले रहा हूँ 9/18 एंड कुछ कॉलम्स का साइज है 12/24 एंड कुछ बीम्स का साइज है 12/36। सो we can create the number of beams and number of columns according to your planning, okay। firstly, जब आप एनालिसिस करोगे स्ट्रक्चर का एंड जो आपने मॉडल प्रिपेयर किया है इनिशियली फॉर द बीम्स एंड कॉलम, सपोज आपके स्ट्रक्चरल एनालिसिस में डिफॉर्मेशंस या फिर बेंडिंग ज़्यादा आ रही है, सो आपको डिफ्लेक्शंस एंड बेंडिंग कम करनी पड़ेगी। एंड वो कैसे कम करोगे आप, या तो टी बीम लगाओगे अपने स्ट्रक्चर में, या ब्रेसिंग्स लगाओगे, या कनेक्शंस यूज़ करोगे, okay। So we will see on the further lecture. Right now I'm just coming for creating the cross sections for the beam. So I'm just talking about what will be the general cross sections for the column and beam. So starting from the 9 inches by 9 inches, the second one would be 9 inches by 12 inches, the third one that will be 9 inches by 18 inches, the fourth one would be 12 inches by 18 inches. So these are the listed 12 inches by 24 inches. After that, 12 inches by 36 inches that you can say. After that, 18 inches by 36 inches. After that, 12 inches by 40 inches. So these are the some of the cross sections that you will be used according to the height of building, according to the load transfer mechanism, okay। So firstly we are just creating the 9/12 or the 9/18 cross sections, okay, or the 12/18. So we will goes with this because this is the small structure, that is G plus 4 story structure. So generally we will used for that, for the beam also and for the columns also. So how can you create for the cross sections? I'm just telling you. So when you'll be go for the define, the another options, that is your section properties. And under the sections property, first is frame section. Frame section is what? That is your beams and columns. Okay. आपकी बीम एंड कॉलम रेक्टेंगुलर भी हो सकती है, आपकी बीम एंड कॉलम सर्कुलर भी हो सकती है, ट्रेपेजॉइडल भी हो सकती है, आई शेप में भी हो सकती है, यू शेप में भी हो सकती है। सो वो आपको चूज करना है फ्रॉम द सेक्शन प्रॉपर्टी फ्रेम सेक्शन। So I'm just choosing rectangular cross sections for this building. So I'm just coming on the frame section and see, this is your material creations window. Okay. This is your columns and beams creations window. So for creating the new cross sections, you'll have to go for the add new property and see, there is a multiple options by which you can select any of the properties, any of the shape. So right now I'm just going with the concrete rectangular. So you'll have to click on the rectangular sections. When you'll be click, the another new window will be open on which you'll have to mention or you'll have to specify the column sizes and the beam sizes as well as the column material and the beam material. So right now I'm just doing it, that is column, and I'm choosing the material that we have already created, M25, and I'm just taking the depth that would be 450 and I'm just taking the width, that is 12 inches, that means 300 mm, okay। When you'll be go for the show section property, so see, this will shows you the data and आपका जो कॉलम का क्रॉस सेक्शन है वो कैसे दिखेगा, ये आपको बता रहा है कि this will be look like that and this will be area, this will be center of gravity. These are the things that's showing. Okay, and simply you'll have to click for the OK. After that, you want to create for the beam, so you'll have to again come here. So for the concrete, select for the beam. For the beam also you'll have to select the material M25, and for the beam I'm just doing 9 by 18 inches. So this is I have done. Okay, okay. So this is the very simple by which you can create your sections. Okay. After that, I am again coming on the E tab and creating a beam and column. So see, there is an option that is one story, all story and similar story. So I'm just customizing it with the one story. So how's it work? See, there is a different tools for the columns and beam. So when you'll be go for the plan, see there is an option for the column, quick draw column. So when you'll be click on that, the another window will be opened like that. See, you can drag that. See, this is your column creations window. Okay, in the column creations window, first of all, you'll have to come in the property and you'll have to select for your column that you'll have created. So we have created this, and when you'll be do that, so see your all columns is created. You can see on the 3D view, but that is creating in only one story. And in which story? The story 5. If you want to create in any of the story, so you can drop down your views from these two arrow, that is move up in the list, and the another one is move down in the list. So I'm just moving down and coming on the base, creating the column. So see, this is creating like that. So this is only creating, sorry, I'm just coming on my base. I'm just coming on my base. First of all, what I'm doing, I'm just deleting these all columns that I'll have created, just because I just want to create the columns from the bottom. So I'm coming here, taking the column for the plan. I'm just deleting this, or you can minimize it with the Control Z also. Okay. So when you are coming on the base story and when you will be click on the all story, सो राइट नाउ अपन ने ऑल स्टोरी ऑन किया है, तो जो भी आपके कॉलम्स एंड बीम्स क्रिएट होंगे वो सारी स्टोरीज में अप्लाइड हो जाएंगे. ओके, सपोज वी आर इन द स्टोरी 3 एंड अपन कॉलम यहाँ पे क्रिएट करते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ क्विक ड्रॉ कॉलम. सो दिस विल क्रिएटेड इन ऑल द स्टोरी. सी, ओके, सी, this is our column. I'm just customizing it, closing the elevations views, so you can easily say how our column is created. Okay, जस्ट बिकॉज सारी स्टोरी में एक साथ कैसे क्रिएट हो गए कॉलम, जस्ट बिकॉज मैंने यहाँ से ऑल स्टोरी का ऑप्शन सेलेक्ट करके रखा है. अगर आप वन स्टोरी क्लिक करते तो सिर्फ एक ही स्टोरी में होते. सो सेम थिंग फॉर द बीम. सपोज मैंने वन स्टोरी ऑन रखा एंड यहाँ पे आया बीम टूल में. जैसे आप बीम टूल बार लोगे, क्विक ड्रॉ बीम, आपको यहाँ से सिलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा आपकी जो बीम जो आपने बनाई है. सो मैंने बनाया है बीम सेक्शन. So you can click single also. See, this is only creating in the story thread, not in all the stories. So this is the disadvantage of the selecting one story. So instead of selecting one story, if you wanted to create your same of the beams in all the stories, so you can go for the all story, and you can create simply simple single, or you can do the drag like that. So see, our beams and column is created. Okay, this is the very simple step. Yeah, Deepak is asking what will be the configurations of the computer. See, for the Etabs, the processor should be i5, RAM would be 4 GB, the graphics card would be 4 GB, and your system contains the SSD at least 256 GB. So आपका सिस्टम इजीली वर्क करेगा ईटैब के साथ एंड ईटैब के हायर वर्जन के साथ भी. ओके दीपक. Yeah, okay. And the Surendra is asking that is how can we create the different level. So of course we will learn about creating the different levels. So don't you worry about this along with the class. Okay. So I'm just coming on my structure. So see, this is very simple process by which you can create your material, you can assign for your beam, you can assign for your column, and after the beam and column, you'll have to go for the tools and you'll have to select the column from here and the beam from here, and you can simply assign in your structure. Okay, from the options of one story, all story, or the similar story. So this is just the basics. Suppose if you wanted to delete any of the column, so for the deleting the process would be same. Okay, अगर आप all story on रखोगे एंड यहाँ से कर्सर लोगे select ऑब्जेक्ट का एंड किसी भी कॉलम को सिलेक्ट करोगे डेट इज सिंपली सिलेक्टेड. मैंने बीम को भी सिलेक्ट कर लिया. फॉर द कॉलम सिलेक्शन सिंपल. सी मैंने कॉलम सिलेक्ट किया एंड जस्ट डिलीट इट. सो सी 3D व्यू में आप देख सकते हो कि वो इजीली डिलीट हो चुका है. ओके. सपोज मेरे कॉलम का ओरिएंटेशंस अभी अलोंग विद द ए बी सी डी ग्रिड है, बट मैं इस ओरिएंटेशंस को अलोंग विद द 1 to 5 ग्रिड्स करना चाहता हूँ, डेट इज 90 डिग्री रोटेट करना चाहता हूँ. सो यूल हैव टू गो फॉर द कॉलम एंड in the column there is an option for the angle degree. See, so you'll have to mention the 90 degree from here, go for the enter, and when you'll become here this will shows like that. See, the orientations of the column would be changed on that conditions. Okay, suppose आपको 90 डिग्री नहीं करना है और किसी एंगल पे करना है, so the same thing that you can do also. I'm just go for the selecting cursor, selecting my column, deleting it, go for the column again, taking the angle that is 45 degree, enter, come here and placed it. So आपका जो कॉलम है वो inclined 45 degree from the grid 1 to 5 also, and from the grid A to F also. It is created. Okay. So you can change the column orientations also with the angle descriptions. You can descript your angle between the 0 to 360 degree, and you can rotate in any of the angle. Okay. So I'm not doing like this. I'm just selecting it. The selections procedure AutoCAD के जैसा ही है. Left to right and right to left. I'm just deleting it. Go for the column and just doing it with the 0 degree and see how this is created. Okay, you can drag it with the mouse middle button and you can rotate it with the shift and mouse screen button. Clear? Yeah, the ETAB will be work on the 32-bit also, but for the 32-bit you'll have to download, okay? You'll have to download the 32-bit ETAB, or we will send the link also after when you'll be get admitted in our class, so you can easily download it. Don't you worry about this. Okay? Or any other doubts do you have? We have just learned about some of the basics thing that कैसे आप ईटैब को स्टार्ट करोगे, ईटैब्स की विंडो में क्या क्या कंटेंट्स हैं, आफ्टर दैट कैसे आप मॉडल्स पे जाओगे, कौन कौन से टूल बार्स हैं आपके, कौन कौन से मेन्यू बार्स हैं आपके. अदर देन दिस you'll have any doubts? So again I'm coming on my structure. This is how I have created, and you can drag it also. See, there is a three option, that is 3D view, plan view and elevation view. So when you'll be click on that, so you can change it. Suppose we are in the plan window, so you'll be changed it. Suppose we are in the 3D window, so you can be go with the plan view also. So you can interchange that views also. Okay, with the selections of 3D plan and elevations, you can change the orientations of the views also. Okay, see, there is a option for the extrude. So when you'll be click from the extrude, so your structure will be extruded and looking like that. So you can easily see, and you can easily zoom out, and you can easily see what you have created and what is your column and beam cross sections. ओके, जैसे आप स्टार्ट प्रो में सो रेंडर्ड व्यू करते हो, या रैविट में, या सेम थिंग ऑटो कैड में, so the same thing that is created. See, we have created this column, so that's why it is showing. Okay, so these are just the normal model creations. After that we will have to go for the another things for the creations. So this is our first class on which you'll have to go for the e tabs, starting your grids also. Create your grids along with the x-axis, y-axis and the z-axis. After that, you'll have to come for the material creations and the beam and column cross-sections creations, and you'll have to create a model very easily. Okay, so this is how can we do and how can we model our structure. When if you want to save your file, so you'll have to come here. There is an option for the save and save as, so I'm just saving as in my folder that I'll have created. So you can easily go with that and saved it. You can go with the name that is 01, and see there is a file format that is EDB. Okay, the file format is also the basics thing that you'll have to keep in mind. For the AutoCAD DWG you will use, for the STAD Pro DFX, for the DWF you will be use, for the Revit RVT or the IFC you will use. So the same thing for the ETAB EDB will be used. Okay, ये आपको जानना इसलिए ज़रूरी है जस्ट बिकॉज व्हेन यू विल बी गो फॉर द हायर वर्किंग, सो सारी जो ड्राइंग्स होती हैं वो आपको एक फॉर्मेट से दूसरे फॉर्मेट में ट्रांसफ़र करना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. So that's why you should know about the format of the file in which you are working. Okay, so when you will be save your etf file, so the etf file will be saved on the edb format. Okay, so these are the some basics things about the day one class. You can save it wherever you want. क्लियर. सो आपकी जो फाइल है आपके डेस्टिनेशन में इजीली सेव हो चुकी है. ऑटो कैट की फाइल को ई टैब में यस ऑफ कोर्स ला सकते हैं. दैट इज़ अ वेरी इजी प्रोसेस. So we will learn about these things on the upcoming classes. Slab आप create कर सकते हैं. How can we create? That is for the upcoming lecture. So when you'll be attend, you'll be definitely knowing about each and everything. You will be attend the sessions daily, so you'll be easily understand कि ईटैप कैसे काम करता है एंड ईटैप्स की मार्केट डिमांड कितनी है एंड मोस्टली 70 to 90% इंडस्ट्री आज की डेट में ईटैप को यूज कर रही है मेनली अगर आप आउट ऑफ इंडिया वर्किंग करना चाहते हैं सो द ईटैप इज वेरी नेसेसरी ओके सो थैंक यू गाइज फॉर अटेंडिंग द सेशंस we will learn something on the upcoming classes or the further sections okay okay guys good night